Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Step by Step English Podcast. I'm Jack.
And I'm Layla. We are so happy to have you here today. In this episode, we are going to talk about something almost everyone knows and uses: Facebook.
Yes, Facebook is one of the most popular social media platforms in the world. Millions and millions of people use it every day.
And because so many people use Facebook, it's also a great topic for English learners. Today, we'll practice English by talking about using Facebook in real life.
Exactly. We'll share simple conversations, daily situations, and also some thoughts about Facebook, the good side and maybe the not so good side.
So sit back, relax, and listen. And don't forget, you are learning English step by step with us here on the Step by Step English Podcast. Layla, do you remember the first time you used Facebook?
Yes, I do. I was in high school. A friend told me, hey, you should make a Facebook account. At that time, I didn't know much about it, but when I opened it, I saw so many things. Photos, posts, comments. I was surprised.
I remember mine too. I think I made my first account in college. At first, I just wanted to see what my classmates were posting. Then, slowly, I started posting my own pictures and updates.
Do you remember your first post?
Yes, it was something very simple. I just wrote, "Hello world, this is my first Facebook post." Nothing special, but at that time it felt exciting.
That's funny. My first post was a photo with my best friend. We were smiling, and I wrote, "Good times with my bestie." And I was so happy when people liked the photo.
That's the thing about Facebook. You can share your life with others and they can react.
Exactly. And when we talk about Facebook in English, there are many useful phrases. For example, to make a Facebook account, to post a picture, to write a status, to like a post, to add a friend.
Yes, and English learners can practice these phrases in daily conversations.
Jack, how do you usually connect with new people on Facebook?
Well, if I meet someone new in real life, sometimes I ask, "Are you on Facebook?" If they say yes, I search their name and send a friend request.
Yes, that's common. And in English, we say send a friend request. That's an important phrase.
Exactly. And when the person accepts, we say, "He accepted my request," or "She accepted my request." After that, people often start chatting. "Hey, nice to connect here," or "How are you doing?"
Yes, and Facebook Messenger is a big part of Facebook too. I use Messenger almost every day to talk with family and friends.
Me too. And I think for English practice, chatting on Facebook is very useful because you can write in English, you can read English messages, and you can also practice real conversations.
That's true. Even short messages help. For example, hi, how are you? I'm good. What about you? What are you doing? Let's meet tomorrow.
Yes, simple but powerful. And learners can practice both writing and reading skills.
Layla, one of the biggest reasons people love Facebook is sharing photos. Do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. I think photos are the heart of Facebook. People love to post pictures of their life: food, travel, family, even pets.
Yes. I remember when I went on a short trip last year. I took a picture of the beach and posted it on Facebook. Within 1 hour, I had so many likes and comments.
People love beach photos. What did your friends comment?
Most of them said things like, wow, so beautiful, or I wish I was there too. And some people asked, where is this place?
That's nice. It feels good when people react to your post.
Yes, it feels like you are sharing a piece of your life with them. Even if they live far away, they can still see what you are doing.
Exactly. And in English, we have some useful words for this. To upload a photo, to post a picture, to write a caption, to tag a friend, to share a memory.
Oh yes, tagging friends is interesting. For example, if I take a photo with you, I can upload it and then tag you in the picture. That way, your name appears and people know you are in the photo.
Yes, and when you tag me, I get a notification. I can also choose to show that photo on my own timeline.
Timeline, that's another important word. On Facebook, your timeline is like your personal wall. It shows all your posts, photos, and updates.
Yes, and I like to write captions too. Sometimes when I post a photo, I write something short like, lovely day at the park, or best friends forever.
Captions make the post more interesting. And for English learners, it's a chance to practice writing short sentences in English.
That's right. You don't need to write long essays. Even 1 or 2 simple sentences are fine. For example, having dinner with family, feeling happy today, sunny day, good mood.
Those are great. Simple, clear, and natural.
Jack, do you also share Facebook stories?
Sometimes, stories are fun because they disappear after 24 hours. If I just want to share a quick picture, like my lunch or a funny moment, I put it in my story.
Yes, same here. And stories are a good way to practice short expressions in English. You can write something quick like delicious food or good morning.
Exactly. It doesn't have to be perfect. The more you practice, the more comfortable you get with English.
That's true. And sometimes sharing posts is also about connecting with friends. For example, if I see a funny meme or a quote, I share it. Then my friends comment and we start talking.
Oh, yes, memes are very popular on Facebook. They're often short and funny, and reading them helps with learning casual English, slang, or jokes.
Exactly. So, posting photos, writing captions, tagging friends, and sharing stories are all ways to use English naturally on Facebook.
And remember, everyone listening, you don't have to be perfect in English. Just try. Step by step, you will improve.
Yes, that's why we are here with the Step by Step English podcast to make English learning part of your daily life, even on Facebook. Jack, you know what I really like about Facebook?
What's that?
Facebook groups. They are so useful. You can join groups for almost anything: cooking, traveling, studying, hobbies, and of course, learning English.
Yes, groups are one of my favorite parts too. I'm in a group for photography. People post their photos, ask questions, and give tips. I learn a lot just by reading the comments.
That's the beauty of groups. You don't feel alone. You are part of a community with the same interest.
Exactly. And for English learners, joining an English learning group on Facebook is a great idea.
Yes. In fact, I'm in a group where people practice English every day. They post questions, short stories, or even just one sentence in English. Then other members reply. It's fun and helpful.
That's amazing. And the good thing is, you don't have to be perfect. You just try, and other people understand.
Right. And sometimes native speakers join too. They correct mistakes or give advice.
I like that. It feels like a classroom, but it's online and free.
Exactly. And the language is very real, not too formal. For example, people might write, "What's your favorite movie?" Can someone explain the difference between do and does? I tried to write a small story. Can you check it?
That's so helpful. And when you reply, you practice writing. Even simple comments like, I like this movie too, or good job, are useful practice.
Yes. And sometimes groups do live video chats or meetings. That gives learners a chance to practice speaking too.
That's true. I once joined a travel group and they had a live talk. People from different countries were sharing travel tips. It felt like a global classroom.
That's amazing. And you know what else is good? In groups, you also learn culture, not just language. For example, if you are in a cooking group, you see recipes from different countries.
Yes, and you can ask questions like, how do you cook this dish? Or what ingredients do I need? It's not just English, it's knowledge too.
Exactly. So, Facebook groups are powerful. They help you learn, connect, and grow.
I agree. And I want to give some advice to our listeners. If you're learning English, search on Facebook for groups like English Speaking Practice, Learn English Together, English Conversation Group, Daily English Practice.
Yes, join one or two groups and try to post something in English every week. It doesn't have to be long, even a short question is enough.
Step by step, your confidence will grow.
Exactly. And don't forget, Facebook is not just for scrolling and looking at photos. It can be a tool for learning too.
That's why we love talking about it here on the Step by Step English podcast. Laila, sometimes people say Facebook is bad, but honestly, I think there are many good sides too.
Yes, I agree. I think Facebook has both good and bad parts, but let's talk about the good side first.
Sure. For me, one of the best things about Facebook is staying connected. You know, my family lives in another city. We don't see each other often. But with Facebook, I can see their photos, read their updates, and even video call them.
That's true. It makes the world feel smaller. My cousin lives in Canada and I'm here. Without Facebook, maybe we would talk only once or twice a year. But now we chat almost every week.
Exactly. Facebook keeps relationships alive.
Another good thing is sharing memories. I love when Facebook shows me memories from years ago. Like it says, on this day, 5 years ago, you posted this photo. It makes me smile.
Oh, yes. The memories feature. I also like it. It feels like Facebook is a diary of your life.
That's a nice way to say it. A diary. You can look back and see your journey.
That's nice. Another good side is learning and information. We already talked about Facebook groups in part 5, but even the news pages or educational pages are useful. For example, I follow a page that posts word of the day in English. Every day I learn a new word.
That's smart. I follow a cooking page. Every week they post new recipes with photos and videos. It gives me new ideas for my kitchen.
See? That's the power of Facebook. It's not only social, it's also educational.
And let's not forget about events. On Facebook, you can see events happening around you. For example, music concerts, online workshops, or community activities.
Yes, last year I joined a free online webinar about photography. I found it on Facebook events. Without Facebook, I would never know about it.
Exactly. It helps people discover opportunities.
And another good side is business. Many small businesses use Facebook to show their products like handmade crafts, clothes, or food delivery.
Yes, my friend sells cakes on Facebook. She posts photos of her cakes, people comment, and then they order. Facebook helps her business grow.
That's great. So, Facebook can help people make money too.
So, let's make a quick list for our listeners. The good sides of Facebook are staying connected with family and friends, sharing memories and photos, learning new things from groups and pages, discovering events and activities, helping small businesses grow.
That's a great list. And remember, for English learners, using Facebook in English is also a big advantage.
Yes, when you change your Facebook language to English, everything becomes practice. The buttons, the menus, the notifications.
Oh, that's a very good tip. If you use Facebook in English every day, you don't even feel like you are studying. But step by step, your English improves.
Exactly. So yes, Facebook has many good sides.
And that's why millions of people still use it daily.
Of course. And we are also using it and learning English at the same time.
Wow, Lila, we've talked about Facebook for a long time today. The first time using it, adding friends, posting photos, joining groups, the good sides, the bad sides, work, study, and even funny stories.
Yes, Jack. Facebook is such a big part of our daily life. No wonder we had so much to say.
Exactly. And for our listeners, we hope this episode gave you not only ideas about Facebook, but also new English words and phrases.
Yes, let's quickly review some useful English we talked about today. To make a Facebook account. To send a friend request. To post a picture. To write a caption. To tag a friend. Timeline. Privacy settings. To join a group. To like a post.
Great list, Lila. These are simple but very common phrases. If our listeners practice them, they will sound more natural in English.
Yes. And remember, everyone, you don't need to be perfect. Just try to use English step by step, even on Facebook.
Exactly. Post in English, write captions in English, or comment in English. It's real life practice, and it makes learning fun.
And also be careful. Facebook is powerful, but use it wisely. Don't waste too much time, and always check your privacy.
Yes, balance is important. Use Facebook to connect, to learn, to grow, not just to scroll endlessly.
I agree. And don't forget the fun part, too. Share your memories, laugh at funny stories, and enjoy the positive side of social media.
That's a perfect way to end. So tell our listeners, thank you for joining us today on the Step by Step English podcast.
Yes, thank you. We are so happy you are here learning English with us.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow our podcast and share it with your friends.
And maybe post about it on Facebook.
Yes, why not? Share what you learned today.
All right, that's it for today's episode. Until next time.